Whether new shooter, longtime gun owner, or even police officer or soldier, your handgun needs a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Crimson Trace.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, great deals on popular pistols and new knives from CRKT. Plus, your range reports and more. Call in now, 866-825-5486. That's Tom Talk Gun. Now, here's Tom.
All righty. It has been, far too long since I have sat in this chair and been speaking with you. Oh, it's only been a week I missed. Okay. I was out, no. I was working, not playing. Work. Yeah, it was terrible work we did out in Arizona. We were shooting TV for our various TV shows. Had a ball. Shooting machine guns. Yeah, that's terrible. And shooting a lot of new guns. Yeah, that's terrible. I got to drive crazy four-wheelers all around beautiful scenery. Oh, I hate that. And then there was the fire. Strap it on your back. Imagine a pressure washer that shoots fire. Yes, we played with a flamethrower. Details to come. Holy cow, did we have fun and get a lot of great video. Working with Rob Latham and crew out there with Ian Harrison from Recoil Magazine, having a bunch of fun and just, getting to play with the stuff. That's one of the cool things we get to do here. By the way, if you've just arrived and you have no idea what we're talking about, I'm Tom Gresham. The show is Gun Talk because we talk about guns and all things that have to do with that. Outdoor stuff, hunting, shooting. Sure, we'll talk politics. We'll do some of that. It just, it kind of goes all over the place. So you never know. We're pretty much open to any discussion as long as it involves safety and responsibility. We don't talk about doing dumb stuff unless we're making fun of it or trying to learn something from it. God, I just saw something. Somebody posted all about his accidental discharge where he's managed to shoot himself in the leg while he's in a movie theater. I love the comment. It says, no, it wasn't accident. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't accidental. You shot yourself. You had a gun not in a holster in your pocket and you're messing around with it while you're in the movie theater. You're lucky you didn't shoot anybody else. That's called negligence. That's why we call it an ND, a negligent discharge. Don't try to pass it off as an accident because an accident's one of those, it could happen to anybody. No, it only happens to dumb people who do dumb things. Sorry about that. That's just the way it goes. You pull the trigger, it goes bang. Gee, what a concept. Let's all try to be better and safer. All right, this is great because we get to break news right here, right now. Later on today, this will be made public. But right now, it's going to be made public to everybody. Now, of course, what a great company Ruger is, and they turn out lots of cool stuff. And occasionally, we get a heads up on things that are going on. We get a little head start. I'm turning around. I have 10 new products sitting here that have not been announced. And I'm not even going to do the announcement on them. I'm going to bring somebody in to tell you what all this is and what's going on. Joining me right now is a fellow I've known for a long time. Rod Bremer is the CEO, the head guy, the founder of CRKT, Columbia River Knife and Tool. Rod, how are you?
Tom, good morning. I'm good. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. I know it's a little bit earlier out there in Oregon, but I know you're up. Now, CRKT has been around for, 21 years now, something like that?
Yeah, a little over 21 years, and I just have to interject here that I really have a lot of sympathy for the pain and torture you went through this past week in Arizona. So, but somebody's got to do that stuff, right?
You're feeling my pain, huh?
It's terrible. I mean, it's just not even fathomable what you had to go through, but somebody's got to do it, right?
The only thing that would be better is if you were there.
Yeah, man, how about it? So yeah, we've been Tom. We've been at it for a long time. Well, in the knife world, we're just still kind of the new kids on the block. But we've been at it for over 21 years now, and pretty much every day's been paradise. There's been a few that have been a little more tedious, but it's been a good run. We've had a good strong business that we've developed and a good strong following of the brand. So we're in a good spot. We're happy to be where we're at.
Well, you have a lot of fascinating knives, And frankly, it's probably more than any one person could have come up with. And so you have this very interesting model. You work with some of the best designers, knife designers out there, don't you?
Yeah, it really evolved. Started the business, like I said, 21 years ago or so, and it turned into I'm a business guy. I'm a sales and marketing guy. I'm in the knife business. I love what I do, but I'm really flummoxed when it comes to putting two lines together and coming up with something that people really like. I've got a pretty good eye for design, but I can't design. Mm-hmm. So it became obvious to me early on that we needed to go out and really tap the genuine artist in the industry. So we went to the custom knife maker community, and while there was some of that being done at the time, still pretty novel, pretty new, where custom knife makers had a chance to bring their art to production so that somebody that had a $50 bill in their pocket could afford to buy something very cool from the likes of Ken Onion or Bill Harsey or guys like that, and not have to pay those custom knife prices. So we went outside pretty early on, Tom, for design help, and it just evolved, and now we're really known in the industry and amongst all of our fans at CRKT for that, bringing those designs to market that way. So it's worked out really, really well, and now we embrace it, and we really work hard to maintain that.
Well, of course, every time I go to your website, I just kind of keep clicking on things and going, wow, look at who in the world would have come up with that? I mean, these knife designers are, as you say, they're artists. They've got imagination that's just unbelievable.
Crazy stuff. And when we started doing some things that I think, man, it probably just wasn't smart enough to not do. Other people was a lot more savvy than I was and looked at things, and people just need to be able to buy that. And we just went out not knowing any better and worked really, really hard to put them into production and put them out there. And these guys come up with some extraordinarily cool concepts when it comes to combining materials together that most folks wouldn't think of, and then they're always looking for ways to create a better experience for the guy that's using a knife every day to cut a rope, open a box, scrape a gasket, rather cut a hose, that type of stuff.
Yep.
Utility mechanisms and safety it's a huge part of what they think about. So it's an awesome collaboration that way.
Okay. See if I can do this right in front of this microphone. Wait for it. Oh yeah. Okay. So I have. You like that?
I do. I know exactly what you're doing.
You do exactly what, and you know what? Now, what do you call this thing? This design with the lever on the top, and you flick it with your finger, and that whole thing.
Oh, it's an extraordinarily complicated, and it's a well thought out name because it's it's just called a flipper. It's that simple.
Wow, who'd have come up with that?
Talk about genius, right?
There you go. All right, But the interesting thing about this one is when I pull this thing open and look at the blade, on one side it says CRKT, which I would expect. On the other side, ta-da, it says Ruger. This is the news for today.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, we're excited, and thanks for the opportunity to talk about a brand new collaboration. I look at this as a collaboration. Some folks might look at it as a license, but, the Ruger brand is just such an incredibly strong, iconic brand that has been out there, and it's got such a marvelous following and trusted following of people that shoot and enjoy firearms that, when the opportunity was presented to us by the good folks at Ruger to contemplate doing a product line for the Ruger brand in the knife world, and we talked to those good folks over there. Chris Colloy is the president, Rob Workmeister, director of marketing, et cetera, for a good number of years, and we've just kind of kept track of each other and watched each other do their thing. And the neat part about the relationship is there's just such a, I hate to use a word like symbiotic because the only one that comes to mind, I'm not worthy anything over a 2-cent word, let alone a big word like that. But, it's just we're aligned a lot in a tremendous number of areas in terms of how we go to market. I feel really, really good about Ruger's business model, their ethics, their morals. It's just a good, strong, solid American brand. And I look at our brand, and we've worked really, really hard to create some of those same things. We really look inside the building first and make sure we're treating each other with the respect that we think each other deserves, and the customer that buys our product, and make sure they get a good experience when they buy our product and treat them right. And so, that was one of the things that really felt good, as we just had casual conversations for a good number of years. And just about a year and a half ago, Chris and Rob came to us when we were in the EWA show in Germany, and they sat down and we chatted for a while, and they just flat came out and said, "We want you to do our knife and tool product line. What do you think?" Well, we were pretty excited about that. We talked about it casually, but we never actually got right down to the, to crunch time, and said, "Well, we really like the idea. We just have a tremendous amount of respect for the Ruger brand, and we want to, we're honored that you'd consider CRKT."
Well, let me jump in, because one of the things that occurs to me, I'm sitting there looking at 10 different products in front of me that have Ruger on them. You have to feel at least, obviously you've had pride in what you do, but at the same time, there's got to be a little bit of pressure on you to think, okay, one of our big things here is to don't screw this up. We've got the Ruger name on our product now.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's one of the things that the guys at Ruger liked about what we do, as you mentioned, that design element. Well, we've got outside designers, and that was something they liked. It's an American company. They like that a lot. And the fact is, when we decided to do this, they really wanted something that wasn't just another Me Too product line. So we went to that outside group, and we said, "Listen, we've got this great opportunity to work with a tremendous company like Ruger. Let's not screw this thing up. We need to have Ruger design elements infused into a brand new, ground-up, fresh product line going to market with the Ruger brand on it." They're pretty particular, and rightly so, and we're pretty particular because our name's on there too, right along with Ruger. So both of us are, want to make sure we don't screw this thing up. So we did. We developed, to start with, 10 brand new models that are hitting the streets just about now with some of our key players, retail partners in the marketplace. And it's going to be followed up, Tom, in January with another 15. And we're just going to continue to build a line, but it's got great stuff going.
It does. Now, when I know that we're the first, this is the first time it's been announced, is this going to be on your website soon, or on the web? I guess it'll be on the Ruger website shortly today, maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be on shopruger.com. I think that page is going up here shortly, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to go ahead and get this thing launched on your show, and all your listeners get an opportunity to hear a little bit about it firsthand. And then, like I said, we're going to go right into.
No. I was just going to say, it's amazing. I'm looking at this huge, going heavy. You got a huge folder, little bitty folders. You've got fixed blades. You've got survival knives. You've got hunting knives. You've got fishing knives. You've got this whole thing. You say 10 now, but 15 more after the first of the year, maybe at SHOT Show?
Yeah, we're going to announce the SHOT Show. Actually, NSGAW show coming up here in the end of the month, and then full rollout at SHOT Show in Las Vegas in January. And we've got it out in some select retailers right now. It's going well. We're excited about how well it's been received by the consumers out there. They like the Ruger brand. They trust CRKT to make a great product, and it should be a heck of a run. We're looking forward to it.
Well, that's great. I will come by and see your booth at NASGW. By the way, that is next week. Rod Bremer, thank you so much. CRKT now making knives that say Ruger on them. Very cool stuff. Check it out, crkt.com, and of course, shopruger.com. It'll all be up a little bit later because we break the news right here first for you. All right, 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. That is the phone number. We're open lines, 866-TALK-GUN.
The Ruger American Rifle is a 100% American-made firearm that offers outstanding performance at a great price. Available in standard size and compact models, it features power bedding integral bedding blocks, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, a flush-fit 4-round rotary magazine, and a 3-lug bolt with 70-degree throw. Compact models feature a shorter length of pull and a shorter barrel for a reduction in overall length of more than 5 inches. The Ruger American Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have Gundelio, the free app for your smartphone. Gundelio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get Gundelio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with Gundelio. Gundelio.com.
Brownells has always given you an advantage. With their huge selection of forever guaranteed gun parts, ammunition, shooting accessories, and more. And now, they're offering you the Edge. For just $49.95, Brownells Edge covers your standard shipping and any return shipping cost for 1 year. Brownells Edge members also receive discount expedited shipping and exclusive offers. Get the Edge today by visiting brownells.com/edge.
The XDM 3.8 Compact from Springfield Armory is 2 guns in 1. Use as your concealed carry gun with a compact magazine and use the extended magazine for home defense. Carry 13 rounds of 9mm in the compact magazine and a whopping 19 rounds in the extended magazine. To see the entire family of Springfield Armory XDM pistols, go to springfieldarmory.com. That's springfieldarmory.com.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. Shopguntalk.com.
Gunny here to talk about how Glock's commitment to safety, durability, and reliability gives one a sense of confidence. Whether you're a Tier 1 operator or you're an average Joe, Glock supports those who go into harm's way by giving them the means of reliable defense. Our troops and veterans know better than anyone. You're only as good as your tools allow. Confidence is more than a state of mind. Confidence is what you carry. And I carry Glock.
You may be a new shooter, a longtime gun owner, or even a police officer or soldier. No personal defense handgun is fully equipped without a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge, Crimson Trace.
All right, we're back with Tom Gresham here. The number is 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. I'm on Twitter. I'm at GUNTALK. Or you could email me, tom@guntalk.com. If you're shy, bashful, don't want to go on the air, shoot me a note. We'll see if we can help you out there. Did get an email from Phil. He is in the Detroit area. He says, I love your advice on always being an advocate. Last night we were going out and I was not going to carry, but however, I was going to be around a lot of people, so I wore my Michigan gun owner shirt. It says, which has a statement on the back of the shirt. It says, it prompted some questions from one woman who is afraid of guns after having one held to her head in her past. She also recognizes the need for self-defense. She and the great enabler are going, his wife, by the way, are going to the range in the near future. His whole point was start the conversation, get out there, say something. Basically, you don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get. It's something I've always said is it's an opportunity. Every time you mention to somebody, hey, I'm a gun owner, I'm a shooter, I like guns, you don't know what you're going to get. They may like guns and you find a friend. They may hate guns and you start a conversation. You're always kind and friendly and ask questions and don't make statements and don't take offense. And you may find somebody who says, well, I'm afraid of guns. And then you go, well, really, what happened? What's something? And then work your way around. But, you do understand that guns are, effective for self-defense. Well, yeah, I've actually thought about getting one. And then you're off to the races. But you have to start the conversation. Otherwise, it never gets out there. Line 3, Dave's with us out of Pennsylvania. Dave, thanks for your patience. Hey, Dave.
Hello.
Hi, Dave.
Yeah, you there? Hey, I'm here.
I am. Good. How can we help you?
Hey,
good. How can we help you?
I live in the state of Pennsylvania, as you know, they're a Commonwealth, and I'm having a problem with obtaining a concealed weapons permit. Mm-hmm. I have no felonies, and I have no mental issues. And I applied for a gun permit, and they refused me on the grounds of the first time was I was 18 years old, and I had a shoplifting incident.
Okay.
And I challenged that, which in the state of Pennsylvania, that's what you do. You challenge it. And they sent me back paperwork telling me that in 1993, I had a possession of a marijuana charge against me.
Okay.
And
is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And now I like I said, I've listened to your show a lot, and from what I hear from what you're saying is if you don't have no felonies or mental issues against you on record, then you shouldn't have a problem obtaining a concealed weapons permit.
Nope, never said that. What I said was the federal law says that you are prohibited from having a gun if you have a felony conviction or a misdemeanor conviction for domestic violence. That has nothing to do with what the state's regulations are on getting a concealed carry permit. They may say if you have certain misdemeanor convictions that could keep you, it doesn't keep you from owning a gun, but it would keep you from possibly from getting a concealed carry permit. What I would suggest you do is get a hold of, and I cannot remember offhand who it is, but there's Pennsylvania Gun Owners Group. Somebody can help me out here. You need to do some more research into this and say, okay, how do I, what can we work on here? That's been a long time. That's just 4 decades or more. How can we, take care of this? How can I get this permit? And just be upfront about the whole thing. But no, I've never said that that's the only way that you don't get a concealed carry permit. That applies to who can own a gun. Concealed carry permits are a state issue, and each state has its own regulations. That's why you need to know them, you need to understand them. When you fill out the form, you better understand they will do the background check, and they will find out if you have things like this on your record. And don't ever lie about it. When they say, do you have that? You absolutely say yes, and then here's how it was taken care of. 866-TALK-GUN.
You're listening to Gun Talk, now on more than 200 great radio stations. Now, here's Tom.
By the way, thank you, Mike. That's the voice of Mike Blakeney, our regular voiceover guy. He is out with a little bit of a medical issue. Mike, we're thinking about you and look forward to you being back. We appreciate you being part of the team. Mike's a gun guy and a pilot, so we have a lot to talk about. Great guy. This was absolutely the next thing I was going to talk about, but Rodney beat me to it. Rodney called in on line 1 out of Omaha, Nebraska. Rodney, I'm going to let you bring this up, and then we can talk about it.
The Hearing Protection Act. It is a bill that's just been introduced in the House to take suppressors off the NFA, National Firearms Act.
Exactly. I was actually in the Scottsdale Gun Club last week in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we were doing a lot of filming and all. They said, we're going to have Representative Salmon in here today, and he's going to announce the Hearing Protection Act. So it was like I was at the same place, but not quite at the same time. This thing would get rid of the $200 tax on suppressors, completely take them off the NFA list. They would become mufflers, essentially. What do you think?
I'm going to encourage everyone to write their legislator to support it, and I encourage people to send some money to the NRA because they're going to need some money to help fight for us to get these things off there. They're just wonderful safety devices to have. I mean, if you're target shooting or hunting, you have better situational awareness because you can hear what's going on around you a lot better. It's easier to train people with a hand on. And in Europe, it's considered poor sport not to have one.
Well, exactly. Why are you making so much noise? Just stick a muffler on the end of your gun, which is all these things are, for those that don't quite get it. And yes, I know that there are going to be people say, oh, well, that's... Actually, I was talking to a guy day before, He said he was talking to a police buddy of his, who's a gun guy, and talking about this, and his police buddy says, well, I sure hope that doesn't pass. You go, what? So, well, yeah, then, we got drive-bys, and then be able to do drive-bys with silencers. What, are they going to stop doing drive-bys if they don't have silencers? What difference does it make? It's kind of my reaction to it. Meanwhile, we have 100 million gun owners out there damaging their hearing. Even when you're wearing hearing protection, it's affecting you. And it's just, well, for one thing, it's more fun, but it's simply healthier to put a can on your gun. I love the fact that they did this name. Don't you love this? They call it the Hearing Protection Act.
It's a great name.
How good? It is. Now, Rodney, are you a silencer guy, a suppressor guy?
Yes, I've got 6 of them.
And you've had to pay $200 for each one of those, just a federal tax on each one of these stupid little mufflers.
Yes.
I mean, I know the guys who make them, they don't want me to call them stupid little mufflers, but they are, in essence, gun mufflers, and we're having to pay all this money for them.
Yeah, they don't truly make them silent either. I mean,
no.
On everything but my 22, I still wear hearing protection.
Well, that's the thing. Particularly if you're hypersonic, it's like if you're shooting an AR and using hypersonic ammo, it is not silent. It's not even quiet. It's quieter, but you're going to have that high velocity crack, and you're right. You absolutely still need to wear hearing protection. Now, 22s or subsonic 9mm 147 grain bullets or 45 ACP subsonic ammo, you can go without hearing protection.
Yes, you can.
Well, I agree, and I know the NRA is working on this. Also, the American Suppressor Association is working on this. The main thing is, and I applaud you for calling in on this, we each need to contact our elected congressmen and senators and say, look, we want you to get on board the Hearing Protection Act, because you can absolutely expect the gun banners to have an absolute hissy fit. They're going to bring up images of, assassins, James Bond, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, they'll use movie images of this, and then they'll say, well, how are police going to respond to gunshots if they can't hear them? Says, well, generally the same way they do now. People pick up the phone and call. Rodney, thank you for your call. I appreciate that. Let's see. Gene is on line 1, Anderson, South Carolina. Hey, Gene, what's up?
Hey, good afternoon. I wasn't supposed to say that, and I apologize. Listen, I just bought 2 new pistols. I took it into my room to find out what they were as far as the brand. I mean, not brand, but make, not make. What they are. One's a Ruger and one's a Colt. The Ruger is a 45, and the Colt is a 22. And I bought it from what you had suggested was to be able to buy a lower caliber weapon, such as a 22, to be able to work on my proficiency down in firing the weapon. So that's pretty much where I am. But I was curious, is there anything else, if you're not very proficient with this weapon, which I tend to become, I'm a retired military, 30 years, so I've handled everything out there bigger, not quite as small. But anyway, is there anything out there as far as either a sighted application or anything like that allows you to increase your proficiency or your aiming capability?
Sure. There's a couple of things that help, particularly those of us who are a little bit older, have older eyes. One, of course, is a laser. And if it's a defensive gun, a laser is a particularly good tool. But the other is an optical sight. You can get what are called red dot sights or little, and they weigh like an ounce. And there are different mounting systems for them. And those are particularly effective at helping your shooting. So that's, I would look at either perhaps a laser or an optical sight, a red dot sight, and see if that doesn't help you out. I think you will like what you get, and I think it's going to work for you. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about, there's a new catalog out with like every AR-15 accessory you can possibly imagine. The most popular rifle being made today, the most customizable rifle being made today, the rifle that, frankly, if you don't have one, I cannot imagine why. And now you can really deck it out. I'll have that information when we come back.
At Double Tap Ammunition, we hand inspect every round that we make, and we use only the best components to give you the best ammunition on the market. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
Put a pistol in your hand, and what's your first thought? How does it feel? Then, how can I make it perfect for me? That's why FNH USA is offering the FNS Compact, perfect for concealed carry. Ergonomic, ambidextrous, customizable. Part of the highly regarded FNS series of striker-fired polymer pistols. Find your perfect pistol. Learn more about the FNS and FNX lines at your dealer, or visit us at fnhusa.com.
Accurate, powerful, consistent. At Double Tap Ammunition, we offer 364 loads in 83 calibers that give you exactly what you've been looking for. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
All right, back with you. More emails coming in to Tom at guntalk.com. Says, Tom, I saw your comment about moms coming after guns funded by Bloomberg. Thought I should tell you about my predicament. This is about my brother's mother-in-law and our mom. I'm sure if they knew about this group, they would be the first on the block to sign up. Talk about the mothers against guns, basically. One day while at a cabin several miles from nowhere, it was time for some afternoon plinking. The moms were quite agitated, but after some coaxing, we managed to get them to agree to fire one shot. The gun was an integrally suppressed Ruger Mark II. Very cool. The first shot was met with a noncommittal harumph, but it wasn't too long before one of them asked for another shot. And maybe we could put a few more in the magazine. Well, you can guess what happened. By the end of the afternoon, they were eagerly waiting their turn and were having as much fun as the rest of us. So now, when the moms go to the cabin, they ask to make sure that the mom guns are packed. And oh yeah, make sure you bring plenty of ammo this time. So he finishes, the problem is the moms still want our guns, but instead of melting them down, they want to shoot them. I love that story. Just love it. Ray is on line 3 out of the Bronx. Hey, Ray, what's up?
Well, Tom, it's kind of synchronicity here that you're about to talk about ARs, and I have an AR-related story. I'm sure you know, if you haven't spoken with her, you know of Natalie Foster, and she's a Facebook friend of mine, and she's also an occasional guest on Politics and Guns. And
I know Natalie.
She related a story that was kind of, horrible to start off with. Somebody was had just cleaned his AR and was checking to make sure that the rounds were feeding. He was cycling the action. Apparently, he may have had his finger on the trigger and let go of the slide. I'm not sure if it will slam fire or not, but maybe his particular model is capable of that. The round went through his sheetrock wall, the outer skin of his house, across 2 yards, hit another frame house, went through 2 walls in there, and killed a mother who was sitting next to her infant. And I'm asking this because we've always had the assumption that the ARs will just keyhole on the first hard surface impact, and this is totally impossible.
And your question for me is what?
So, well, I mean, have you heard similar cases, or have you researched multiple impacts?
I don't have to research it. You haven't seen our videos online where we do exactly that. We shoot through multiple walls, actually 6 sheets of sheetrock placed at the distances as if it was 3 walls. We built walls, shooting through them with shotguns, rifles, handguns, different calibers, find out what works, what doesn't. The truth of it is, it all depends on the bullet. There are some bullets that will penetrate a lot of walls. Almost all handgun bullets will penetrate a number of walls. Buckshot will penetrate a lot of walls. Slugs, of course, do. Birdshot does not. Frangible, highly frangible, like 40 grain or 50 grain bullets, varmint hunting bullets in a .223 definitely break up. Some FMJ bullets in .223s will keyhole and break up, but not on the first wall. Sometimes it takes going to the second wall, but that doesn't mean they can't just keep on going. As we always say, you are responsible for everything your bullet does until it quits moving. All guns are always loaded. Never point your muzzle at anything you're not willing to destroy. And you have to have X-ray vision. So for those who are not quite getting it, I was pointing at a wall. No, you're pointing at that woman across the street. Oh, yeah. Never point your gun at anything you're not willing to destroy. You have to have X-ray vision. If the bullet will exit the house, then your vision must, in your imagination, exit the house. Don't point the gun in that direction. Tragic story, but it's really not about picking a round that won't penetrate the walls. And that, over-penetration is a weird word anyway. It's kind of like overkill. Sometimes you need penetration. This is about not following the 4 rules of gun safety. The 4 rules of gun safety will prevent all of this. Let me touch on that for a second. The 4 rules of gun safety are not something you do. They should be who you are. Let me explain what that means to me. All guns are always loaded. You treat every gun as if it's loaded, period. Don't point your gun at anything you're not willing to destroy, period. Don't put your finger on the trigger until your sights are on the target and you've made the decision to shoot. Be aware of your target and everything that's behind it. By incorporating those into who you are, any failure of those is not a failure of something you did, it's a failure of who you are. It would make you feel like less than you want to be. So, you incorporate them as though you are some kind of fanatic about it, because you darn well better be a fanatic about them. And you never, ever, 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 ever break those rules, because that would be a failure of who you are, not of some thing that you did. I hope you get the difference. Does that make any sense to anybody? Well, I distracted myself. I have a tendency to do that. I mentioned I was going to tell you about this cool new AR catalog, a source of all things AR. It's from Brownells, the Brownells folks. Their latest AR-15 specialty catalog, number 11. It's got, well, it has everything. You want to build an AR? It has what you need. You want magazines. You want 308 stuff. You want M16 stuff. You want bolt carrier groups. You want M-lock. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want. Key lock, it's got everything. You got to have this. If you have an AR, you have to have this. And of course, it's free. Just go to the Brownells website. Brownells is BROWNELLS, brownells.com. Go to the catalog section. You can request one, or you can call them, 800-741-0015, 800-741-0015. Mark, line 2, Marshall, Texas. What are you looking for, Mark?
Hey, good afternoon, Tom. Tom, when I was younger, I had a few handguns, no money, and I had a very inexpensive gun cabinet. As I got older, I stepped up to a Canon Scout, which is, again, what I could afford at the time. Now I'm older, I've got a few dollars to spend, and I've got quite a few black rifles. So I'm looking at the AMSEC BF series, but I wanted your recommendations.
All right, I'm going to make my recommendation, okay, because I've done a lot of work with these guys, and I've been through the factory, and I like their products, and I believe in what they do. I am a big believer and fan of the Liberty Safe line. They have more than 50% of the market in gun safes. There's a reason. They're all made in the U.S. I would go look at something like the Fat Boy, figure out what size you want, and then buy the next bigger one. The number one complaint that people have about safes is I didn't get one that was big enough.
That's exactly what I'm planning on. I'm looking at what I got now, which is adequate, and I want to make sure I step up so we have plenty of room. Because not only do I secure my firearms in there, but also laptops, my wife's jewelry, things like that. Yep.
And look, I just went to the Liberty Safe website, it's libertysafe.com. They're having some kind of a big gun safe promotion, a big sale going on. Let's see, October 15 through November 30th. So it's right now. Just go to libertysafe.com. It'll pop up. Take a look at it. The thing is, you can, you get it, you buy it there. Local dealer delivers it. They come and install it for you. It's pretty cool, and they've got this incredible warranty where, if somebody breaks in, tears up your safe, it gets caught in a fire or anything like that, you know what they do? They just bring you a new safe, brand new safe. Just replace it. Take your guns out, put it in the new one.
Now, when you first mentioned, you said it was deliverysafe.com?
Liberty, Liberty, like, Liberty, libertysafe.com.
Okay. And that's your recommendation. That's who you go with.
Yes, it is. I only say that because I have one and I love it. And go ahead and look. When you do it, get the one with the lights inside, get the pockets on the door. And yes, it's going to cost a little more. And like 3 weeks into it, you'll forget how much that cost and you will say, wow, this stuff is cool. Yeah. Also, if you go to their website, you can see some of the videos we've done. Let's say we rolled one down a mountain, we drug it behind a truck, we threw it off a 3-story building onto concrete, and then we strapped 4 sticks of dynamite to it after having put $1,000 cash money in it and tried to blow it up. That safe is still sitting in their showroom. The money is still inside because it didn't open up. 4 sticks of dynamite. You can see the video of that, what we did on their website. Very cool stuff. All right, 866-TALK-GUN. Get you in there. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some new guns you have not heard about. We got some news from Florida. Florida Carry's going to be here talking about the attempts there to strip people of their gun rights. A lot of things going on. This is Gun Talk. I'm Tom Gresham.